Good morning. I am here with a revision plan of chapter 9 Reproduction in Animal of class 8th. In this chapter we are going to discuss about reproduction in animal. Dear children, this chapter is not very tough. As I should say that it is easy. Once you go through this revision plan, then you will naturally understand that it is not so tough, it is very easy. Okay, so one by one I am going to deliver what are the important topics of this chapter, and then you yourself will be very clear about this chapter. So first, as you can see here, the reproduction. So what do you mean by reproduction? Clearly it is written, reproduction is the process by which new individuals of the same species are produced. Reproduction is important for the continuation of similar kind of individual for generation. It is not much required to explain, right or not? Because it is well known by us. In previous classes we all have gone through about this concept. Okay, now let's come the mode of reproduction. What are the modes? What are the various ways through which reproduction taken place, right or not? So there are two modes of reproduction, and they are asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. And in asexual reproduction, what happens? New individuals are produced from a single parent. It means in this process there is no two parents are involved, only single parents are involved, right or not? And in sexual reproduction, two parents are needed to produce new individual. It means in the process of sexual reproduction, two parents are involved. In sexual reproduction, a male gamete fuse with female gamete to form zygote, which later develop into a new individual. So in this way the sexual reproduction takes place, right or not? So that is also very important. What are the organs and that help in reproduction? So the main organ, as you can see here, the main reproductive organ in human consists of a pair of testes, as you can see here, right or not? Two sperm duct and penis. The testes produce the male gamete called sperms. The testes produce million of sperms, and a sperm is single cell, and the sperm has head, middle piece and tail. As you can see, this is what? This is also known as male gamete. It is a picture of sperm. Here you can say it is a head, this is a tail, right or not? And this is a middle piece. So it is known as sperm or male gamete, correct or not? And this is what? This is a reproductive organ. Now in female, you can see the female reproductive organ, right? In female reproductive organ, you can see here it consists of a pair of ovaries. Here you can say this is the ovaries, pair of oviduct. This is what? Oviduct, right or not? Or in other word, we can say it is a fallopian tubes, right or not? And you can see here, this is what? That is uterus. You can see, and a picture is clearly seeing that many parts, right or not? A single egg is produced by the ovary every month, and the egg is single. This is what? This is a single cell or human ovum or female gamete. As I said, the sperm is known as male gamete and the egg or ovum is known as female gamete. So in female reproductive organ, what are the parts? Uterus, fallopian tube, ovary, right or not? Vagina, and this is what? This is an egg or ovum or female gamete, right or not? Now in this chapter we have to go through about types of fertilization. So fertilization, how many types of fertilizations are there? As you can see here, there are two types, internal and external. So what happens in internal fertilization? In internal fertilization, it takes place inside the female body, like human, cows, dogs, hen, etc. And in external in the sense, the fertilization process takes place outside of the female body. So what are the examples where external fertilization taken place? Frog, fish, starfish, etc., etc. Many more examples. So examples are very important, right or not? Whatever the content you are going to write down, you have to write the examples. Now the process of fertilization, how does this process happen? It is shown through the picture, right or not? As you can see, the fusion of sperm and ovum is known as fertilization. Fusion of sperm and ovum in the sense male and female gamete. This is male gamete and this is female gamete, right or not? So this is what? This is sperm. Here the sperm is being fused with the female gamete, and where and when male and female gametes are fused, then fertilization taken place. After fertilization, the fertilized egg developed into a new individual, right or not? As earlier I said that after fertilization, zygote is formed, it divides and form an embryo, then embryo attached with uterus, and later it developed in a child, right or not? So as you can see, the fertilized egg then developed into a new individual. Since the sperm from the father fuses with the egg from the mother, the new individual inherits some characters from the father and some from the mothers. So through the picture you can see the process of fertilization, right? Now how does an embryo develop? After fertilization, I said zygote forms an embryo. And how does an embryo develop? The embryo then attached to the wall of uterus, then develop the body part like hand, leg, head, eyes, ears, and this is known as fetus. So what is fetus? It is very important, right or not? So after development of embryo, it forms fetus, and in fetus, leg, head, eyes, ears, these are developed, right or not? In animal which gives birth to their young ones is known as viviparous. And now viviparous and oviparous, these two terms are very important. What do you mean by viviparous? So those who give birth, their young ones, right or not, are known as viviparous. And those animals who lay eggs are known as oviparous. Oviparous are frog, fish, and many more examples. So viviparous and oviparous, it is very important because frequently it is asked in the examination. So viviparous, it means who give birth to their young ones, and oviparous, who lay eggs. With example you have to write, right or not? Now the life cycle of animals. Here the pictures are being shown. As you can see here, the life cycle of frog you can see, hai na? You can see the frog, and what are the various stages through this life cycle we can see. Now we come to the asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, what I said, where the single parent involved, right or not? So there are various methods of asexual reproduction, and this is very important in respect of exam. Budding, binary fission, two process of asexual reproductions are given here. One by one we will discuss. In this method, a small bulge develops from the body that is known as bud. It means a small bud-like projection is formed in parent body. Then later it develops, and after complete development it gets separated from the parent body and form a new hydra, right or not? So this is known as budding. And second, binary fission, as the title itself saying binary fission, bi in the sense two, fission is division. So where parental body divides in two parts, right or not? So how does this process happen? Let us see. In this method, the nucleus first divide. You can see this is the picture of amoeba. In this picture, this is nucleus, and this is what? Cytoplasm. So what happens in first? In this method, the nucleus first divide and forms two nuclei. What are you can see? Here the nuclei is being formed. So first nucleus is divided, then the body is divided and form two daughter cell, right or not? So this is the method of binary fission, and this is the process of budding under the asexual reproduction. Okay, so dear children, in this chapter, as I said, reproduction, mode of reproduction, parts of organ, and oviparous, viviparous, then what is fetus, and what are the various modes of asexual reproduction. We all have gone through. One more thing is very important in this chapter, that is metamorphosis. The transformation of the larva into an adult is known as metamorphosis. This is very important. What is the how define metamorphosis is asked, है ना? So this answer you have to write. So what are the life cycle of frog, and here you can see this of caterpillar, right or not? So some animals show the different stages in their life cycle. The stage of life cycle of silkworm, butterfly, right or not? So these are the various animals life cycle. Through picture you can understand, and among this is very important, metamorphosis. Okay, so this way we can revise this chapter. And one more thing, that is determination of sex determination, है ना? Sex determination is also important of this chapter. So please you go through about sex determination, right or not? Okay, thank you so much. Hope this will help you to understand and revise this